You are listening to Two Heels and a Face Wrestling Podcast, a podcast where we believe wrestling is a buffet and there's something there for everyone. Make sure you're following us on all social media such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook under Two Heels and a Face. That's number 2 Heels and a Face. Make sure you check out our website, twoheelsandaface.com.
Ever, 2 heels and a face.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Two Heels and a Face Wrestling Podcast. On today's episode, it is a re-release. We're re-releasing some of our favorites, and we have been doing this all year. So this one is a very special one. But before we get back into kind of talking about it, go check out last week's episode. Lainey Luck,
yeah.
who we talked to her, and then all of a sudden she was on AEW at Aragon. Did you notice that? It was like
yeah.
So she probably knew that was.
Yeah, she didn't give us any hints about that. It's just like, well, Jeff is busy working.
Yeah.
So
yeah. There was no. She was keeping it. She was keeping it real kayfabe with us. But that's exactly, Chris. That's exactly. First of all, how are you? And second of all, like that's exact. We were just talking to Lainey, like we want to see more of those opportunities, of course. If we were in charge, we would do that. And like, we want you to succeed. And then like 2 days later, she posts a reel of her being wrestling on AEW, and she's wrestled for them before, but still like, the more times, the better, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's cool to see her getting the opportunities and just the world needs more Lainey. So have at it. And I'm doing all right. I'm here. I'm excited for. It was fun re-listening to this release that we're about to put out here, with, none other than our friend Chico Suave.
Suave.
It's and in this re-release, he talks about how he's coming up with merch, and he talked about the "I'm Your Chico" shirt. So here it is.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you are seeing Chico looking buff and in tights right in front of your screen right now. So that's the bonus stuff you get on YouTube right there. But yeah, it's funny to once again, every time we do a re-release, I'm like, man, you almost feel you hear a bunch of hints at things, and it's like, oh, that came to fruition, or that actually happened, or like for example, Isaiah says like, man, I want there to be a card with like all people I've trained. And I'm sure like we haven't gone back and checked that, but there's got to be one that's close, because like a lot of people that came through in that class are now your mainstays, like Coda, Alfonso, etc. So like, it's funny listening back to these, and it's like, wait, this stuff actually does happen 4 or 5 years later. And like, I think, yeah, Chico's the same. Like, Chico, I think, was just kind of getting to wrestling more when this was happening. He was like breaking, like he did the ref thing, right? And the ref thing was kind of a way for him to still be involved. But like, Chico's goal is not to be a ref.
Right, that wasn't his goal. And there's a story out there. Can't remember where it was told, and I won't go into it because I don't know the full details. But if you remember this, Charlie, you heard this. He actually got in some sort of heat for becoming a ref for that Cello Pro show.
Yes, I've heard
right?
That. Yeah.
So again, like we talked about him doing the ref thing at Cello Pro and in other places here and there, and still having like it's cool. Like he got to be a ref, but got to be Chico also at the same time.
Right.
So he brought Chico everywhere he went in different forms. And it, he, like you said, like he was kind of branching out at that point and trying different things. And I mean, ultimately, the underline here with Chico is that, he remained everybody's friend.
He did. And like, he's never lost that. Yes. Like the Chico you're about to hear in this episode was, I'm everyone's friend, but also like, now he's everyone's friend, but also he has gained just more respect, and he's gained a place on that card, and like a permanent place on that card. And like, it's great to listen back to our friend Cheeks Apparently, I didn't call him Cheeks in this. But he's just now, like, he feels so young in this recording to the Chico that we know now. The Chico that we know now feels just way more confident in himself. Like when I meet Chico after the show, when he's just had like an awesome match, I feel a lot more confidence in him just shaking his hand. And like that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, this is young and spry. He's still very hungry, but like,
I mean, we popped his podcast cherry with this episode.
Yeah, exactly. And that was shocking. Well, even listening back to that was shocking to me. But like he just hadn't broken out yet. It's weird because we knew him, but still there was so much to achieve. He's achieved so much in this time. He won that Freelance Underground title. He wrestled Brian Keith, which was an awesome match. Like now, like he's insanely over at baseball. Like all that stuff hadn't come to fruition yet, which is like, it's just kind of cool to listen to this and know who he is now and see that arc, you know?
Yeah, man. Like seeing the growth, seeing the confidence, and he's still enjoying what he's doing. I don't know if you saw a clip this week. I think it might have been released today. They're out in some festival, and it's rain pouring. I think Chico released this, and Chico and August go into the ring, slide into the ring, but Chico just takes a bump in the middle of the ring, flooded, and rain pouring down on him because he's just enjoying life. So that's just Chico in one clip right there.
100%. And he's kept that consistent is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chico you're about to listen to and Chico now still very friendly, still enjoying life, but now he has the matches and the backing to like back it up. You know what I mean? And like young and spry Chico you're about to listen to had those dreams, but he hadn't been given like the chance yet, sort of.
Yeah, and you can see if you look back at his matches, like you can see the gear progression. We talked about different gear he had planned, and then now the tribute to his trainer, and now coming into his own with that Colombian inspired army type or military type of outfit that ultimately Ego says it's a big diaper, but I'm like, that is Chico. Chico owns it, and he is just part of his personality. So it's great to see. So there you have it. It's a little bit about Chico, but for sure, like I think listening to this episode was definitely fun. I enjoyed it. And there's a couple, like you said, a couple things in there that you, if you know his trajectory from then to now, a few of those things have come to fruition, and there's things that he's still working towards. So.
There's a bunch of crazy training stories in here too. This is an absolute delight episode, so I'm excited for everyone. If you missed it the first time, now's your chance, and you're about to listen to it. So,
all right, should we jump right into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Here is our first ever episode with Chico. I think we've had him on a different time than this too.
We had him several times.
But yeah, this is the very first one, and an absolute delight. So let's get into it.
Hashtag Viva la Chico in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Our guest is, we're doing great. Our guest is ring name, I believe, is Chico Suave. I just call him Chico. Is that how you want us to refer to you this whole, or please introduce yourself?
Chico the ref. I don't know. You let us
know. You guys can call me Chico. Cheeks. Everybody at Freelance Academy calls me Cheeks for short. But you guys feel free to call me Chico, Cheeks, whatever you guys feel comfortable with.
Suave.
There you go.
Great. Chico's a wrestler, Chicagoland area, and we're going to get to know a little bit more about him. I think you have like a fun personality, and we know you. And I think when we have people on this podcast, we want to know them a little bit beforehand, which we discussed in detail on I think it was our second previously published episode. Where we talked about like everything what Two Heels of Face means to us and how we got started and things like that. So we built some rapport with you, and we're like, you sent out a tweet. I think it said like, I've never been on a podcast, and we're like, why not? So like, let's get you on.
So I've never been asked to be put on a podcast or anything or an interview like that. I've been to the radio station once, but that was like years ago, and like I always see me in the background just quiet, like what do I say? And it's in Spanish. And my Spanish is not as great as it used to be years ago, but it's like, all right, see what I could do from here. So to be able to speak to you two, just let you guys know, I actually listened to your last episode. I believe it was the Origins.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referencing. Yeah, exactly.
What was it? This morning I woke up. I go to work around 5 a.m, and I'm like, you know what? Put this on the way to work. And since I have the headphones, listen to what they got to say. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was entertained. For the time I had right there, really worth it. So you guys did a great job on my end. So you got to approve of Suave.
No, thanks. It's good to know. It's good to just, no matter how many times we record or how many years go by, they seem to be stacking up. It's good to just hear that affirmation. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, always.
Chris, right, the salad bar or the buffet line, what is it?
We are doing a wrestling buffet line with Chico Suave, aka Cheeks. And how the buffet, the wrestling buffet line works is, some of you are familiar with it, some of you might not. And it's basically, we break up this podcast episode into 3 sections. The salad bar, quick, fresh takes, kind of getting to know on a surface level who Chico is. And then we'll dig deep into the hot plate where things get a little more serious and we get to hear a little more about in-depth stuff with Chico and what he's doing in the indie scene. And then we'll move on to dessert, which is guilty pleasures. We'll have some fun questions there, and we'll cap that off with word association. So it should be a fun episode.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So it's good. I guess a positive is that for us, if you've never been on a podcast, hopefully people who are listening to this who probably don't know your wrestling origin story will learn that, because we usually try to stray away from those questions a little bit more because they can be a little redundant for someone who's been on podcasts before. I see it as a positive that I'm going to learn more about you, and I think the fans are too.
I think I'm going to learn more about myself right now too with you guys. But this is awesome. I really thank you guys. This is a huge opportunity. This is a huge learning experience for me also. So the near future, I can be like, you know what? I was on this one podcast, 2 years in the face, and these guys taught me everything I know now. So I got to put them over all the time.
All right. Well, we'll hope you remember us at that point.
All right. I'll try to get started off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get started off. Sorry, I usually just talk too much. Chico, we ask a very broad question to this usually at the start of the buffet line, and we usually get some interesting answers. But I want to know exactly about wrestling. What about it? What specific part of it is the part that you love? Now, people answer this question in different ways, but there's a lot of things that are wrapped up into professional wrestling. But what's the part that keeps you coming back to it?
For me, it's being able to build confidence and to be able to go out there and do what you feel comfortable with. For me, it's like I've been exposed to like the lights and the cameras and all that stuff because in my younger years, at a very young age, I have photos right here. I did gymnastics for a bit. So I was exposed to like, okay, these are people who are here, they pay, or they're here for free, they're watching you. And I like that spotlight, and that's what I like about wrestling. It's like you get that spotlight on you. There's a lot of guys who can do 1,000 things, but what makes you special? What makes you different? Well, that's what professional wrestling is. It's what makes you different from everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I think you listened to the episode that we were referencing, and it's in our Twitter bio. We embrace being different, and I think that is hugely key to standing out amongst the crowd. So yeah, I think that's a great answer.
So when being different is something that you like about professional wrestling, how long have you, or how old were you? How long ago did you start training? Because I mean, I've been going to different promotions, and I've seen you around for X amount of years, but I don't think you were a green talent.
For me, I started in 2008. I started training in 2008. And the reason I remember that year is because I never went to 8th grade. Let's go back a little back in the way back machine. I was a little bit of a hoodlum. You know, I was on the streets doing things I should have been doing, but I had this love of professional wrestling. And so one day, me and my mom over here at home, we got into it, and I ended up going to Colombia for a year. And I did 1 year in Colombia, and came back. I was lean, I was cut, I was very, very healthy, and my mom found the school of lucha libre, right? And I guess you could say from like right there, my mom was like the pushing point for me to start this journey as a professional wrestler.
Nice.
So were you like a wrestling fan or a lucha libre fan before that, or?
Okay, so I never watched lucha libre, AAA, CMLL. I've never watched it. I think there was a Lucha Libre USA at one point that was shown on MTV. Never watched it. I never knew Blue Demon and all these masked wrestlers. I never.
I mean, you knew of them, but
I knew of them, but I never seen them. I've never like exposed to that culture. You know, for me, it was me growing up. It was always people like Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, Cena, Benoit, all these guys that, you know, came up through the ruthless aggression era. So I can say I'm a ruthless aggression era kid.
Okay, cool.
So
now, Chris talks about that a little bit. Chris, was it growing up? Was it hard to find that true lucha libre, or was it hidden a little bit? Or
I mean, yeah, it was a struggle, like catching it. You know, I think I talked about that. I used to Monday nights, you know, starting at 6:00, I'll be watching that on Galavisión, and then you know, get that 30-minute recap of what I just watched. But like that was the only thing. But there'll be weeks where you'll be watching the same show. It's not like they had any storylines or anything. Like it was just straight lucha libre. You would see the same matches, like maybe every 3 weeks or something like that. So you had to like get lucky and find a channel or something, because it was very sporadical. Like it wasn't like you tune in for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, no, not the same. Not like same exposure and everything. Like I said, for me, when the very first time I was exposed to lucha libre, it's like spot, 1, 2, 3, kick out, and this and that. I'm like, whoa, where's the storytelling? Like, what's going on here? Everybody's just throwing themselves around, you know? Yeah. And so we'll go later on about when I first started training and everything with these guys in the future. So
yeah. And you've done some reffing as well, right? Is that a new thing?
So in the beginning, when I, you know, started training and everything, the first thing I did, besides bringing on the ring, was being a ref.
Okay.
And I see that helped me growing up in the business, is because in the sense of like, I learned how to communicate with the wrestlers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, being able to see how they react and how the crowd reacts, you know, firsthand. You know, if I'm in the back, I can't see what's going on. I can't see what they're saying to each other. So for me, for this opportunity to be out there up close and impersonal and, you know, go off the reaction, it was helpful for me. Because eventually I learned, okay, this is what people like. This is what this type of crowd likes. And this is the type of things that these people don't like. So I kind of learned that way.
Yeah, we definitely have a training question at the start of the hot plate. So we can dive a little bit more into things you learned. In terms of wrestling now, what are you watching? Like, what do you turn on during the week to get your wrestling fix?
Man, it hasn't been the same for me. You know, I listen to a lot of podcasts to catch up, actually. You know, I don't have time to be watching wrestling because it's like I'm working and I come home, shower, sleep, go to training, be there 3-4 hours, come back home. And it's like for me to find some time to watch some wrestling, you know, if I'm on the road or if I'm on break time, like I'll take out the YouTube and I'll look some New Japan. I'll watch some AAA. I'll watch some WWE here and there. So anything that I'm in the mood to watch, it's just right there on YouTube.
Yeah, well, wrestling's a buffet. Whatever you're in the mood for, right?
It's everywhere.
Yeah, so it's true though. Like I kind of have those spurts that you're talking about too, where it's just like you're so exhausted, and you want to watch wrestling when you can be focused on it. But some days you're just like pooped basically, and you don't want to use your brain at all basically. So it sounds like you're just, at least it's good that you're still trying to squeeze it in when you can, because I think even during this pandemic, which is basically one big depression cycle sometimes, you know, it's hard. It's easy to fall out of like stuff you love. So
yeah. Cause I had the Rona for a while back, and it was just like wrestling, and then trying to eat, trying to sleep, trying to find a way to like survive during this whole pandemic and everything. So wrestling has been there for me while I've been in bed. Just I could do that. I miss that.
Chris, were you gonna say something? I cut you off.
No, I was just gonna, you know, kind of close off the salad bar by asking. I don't know if you're a salad guy, but what's your favorite ingredient in a salad?
The lettuce, I guess. The lettuce.
The greens.
Keeping it simple.
Big nutrient guy, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I can't eat vegetables. You give me a steak, give me a meat, I'll eat it all, and still look great.
That's good.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we can move on to the hot plate. And so I guess the first question there is, did you train under Discovery?
Yes, sir. Discovery. So I started training in 2008 under Gali Lucha Libre, and I met Discovery through there. But before I was able to train with Discovery, I had to come for a whole month trial. So it was 4 Sundays, and I came in for 2 of them.
There's like 17 Gali shows, right?
Basically, almost. At that time, yeah. I was taught, okay, you know, this is how you take a bump, this is how you hit the ropes and everything by Yakuza. And then within 2 weeks, you know, Carlos was like, all right, you're going to train with Discovery. So first day was a Tuesday. It was hot. I remember my mom took me to practice, and I met Discovery. I met Tomiko. I met his kids. I met Frunabre. I met a lot of luchas. So if you guys go to lucha, any Gali show, any lucha that has been there, it's been there for a long, long time. And shout out to them. And yeah, so the first 5 minutes of like jumping in the ring, I ended up vomiting all over the place. And I guess that's how you could say I started my relationship with Disco. He's like, oh, okay, let's see what we can do with you. So years later, here I am.
Was it like on the ring, or was it like
no? So I timed horribly. I ate around like 6:30, and practice was at 7:30. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hit the ropes. 1, 2, 3, jump over the guy, roll out, and I'm like, man, I don't feel so good, and I just like, and I go to the bathroom, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I missed the toilet. I hit everything, the sink, the wall, the toilet paper, everything was full of vomit except the toilet seat. And I guess from that moment on, that's where the relationship between me and Carlos started. You know, as most people see us nowadays, back in the day, they saw us like father and son. You know, and that's where I could say the relationship started with me and Carlos.
Was he in there helping you clean up, or was he more sympathizing or ragging on you?
I still remember. He was in his office. I walked in, and I'm like, Senor Robles. He's like, I'm like, Mr. Robles. He's like, I'm like, I vomited all over your bathroom. He just looks down, looks at me, looks down, just looks at me again, grabs a paper towel, throws him. He's like, clean it up, kid. I'm like, all right. And there we go. That's how it started for me.
It's a good story. So
intentionally, I'm wearing my Gali shirt.
There you go.
There you go.
Shout out to Carlos.
What did you learn in ring wise from Discovery? I know, rest in peace. I know he recently passed. What are some things he taught you that you can take forward?
Papa, let me tell you, he taught me everything from training to hitting the ropes to, basically train to be a luchador and just work the ropes and jump around and be athletic and everything. I'm not as good on the ropes, but I'm flexible. Like I could, do things that most people are like, oh, okay, I didn't know he could do that, and I gave it to Disco because this, the students nowadays had it easy. With Disco, it was, all right, guys, like before we hit the ring, we're going to take bumps. We're going to do all these lessons on the concrete floor first. On concrete, so like we're doing leapfrogs. Yeah, that's the way we were brought up, because he wanted to make our body strong and everything in case because you never know. You never know. You might be in a situation. You might be in a show where it's in the streets and you got nothing but concrete. Or you might have padding around. So I saw that as a perfect way to learn and to adapt to any situation. Disco, Disco is the godfather of lucha libre here in Chicago. Okay, like anybody to almost everybody has gone through him. Learning. Mm-hmm. I know Jesus Bryce went through him for a bit. Mustafa Ali went through him for a bit. A Ricochet, a lot of people, has come and had maybe 5-10 minutes with Disco, and it's the best time ever. And there isn't a day that I go by that I don't miss him. I don't think about him. Like if I were to close my screen right now and turn it on, like my lock screen, it's just me and him. It was probably the second to third last photo that I had with him, and it was at Taco Fest 2018 or 2017 was the last time that before what happened.
Yeah. No, I mean, I keep hearing great good memories of a lot of the Chicago folks that got a chance to not just spend those 5 minutes that are super important for other people, but they got to train with them on a weekly basis.
And the one thing, sorry to cut you off, sorry.
Go.
You're good.
But Disco always believed in his students. I don't care if you have no experience in any sport or if you have the most experience, you were in the highest of highest. Disco was always there to motivate you, was always there to push you, to always believe in you. And if you did not do it the way he believed in you, and he saw you lacking, he'll come to you, he'll look straight in the eye, and he'll be like, and he'll just smack you as hard as you can, and he'll be like, do it again. And the moment he smacks you, you do it perfectly. He'll come to you and walk and be like, "Ike," and he's like, "And what? I told you." Mm-hmm. And from there on, this will earn my respect.
Yeah,
that's like he's like to me, he's my lucha father or grandfather. Mm-hmm. Like it just sucks. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's you just said what I tried to say, because I don't have that experience, right? I didn't get to treat them like you guys did, and it's just these stories that I hear over and over. And it's unfortunate, after his passing, all these stories come out and people speaking how good of a teacher, mentor, and just kind of like you said, I hear about him, like he believed in the people that he trained.
Yes,
he pushed you to the limit. So that's just great to hear from you and your experience.
Yeah.
And that leading you to a hardcore match with Pat Monix. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Speaking of taking bumps on concrete.
Pat Monix. So what can I say about Pat Monix first? Pat is a really good friend of mine.
Because he was Pat Monix. It wasn't Project Monix yet.
No, it was not Project Monix. It was just Pat Monix.
Mm-hmm.
I met him through Bryce's freelance. I think it was the Underground Wrestling Academy, right? So this is way before Freelance Underground came to be. And I met Pat, and we talked here and there. He was really good at American. I was really good at lucha, and then we started working with each other. He was teaming up with Storm for a bit, and then Carlos was like, "Hey, you know what? Why not throw these two, me and him together?" And me and him just gelled perfectly. It just worked out great, And Pat's one of those guys. It's like same thing like Disco. It's like if he sees something in you, take his hand. You're gonna make it. So,
what was your guys' tag team name? Did you have a name?
What? So no, we didn't have no name.
Okay.
It was just
you didn't
two
need
guys.
One. Yeah.
We didn't need one. But Pat eventually came out with the Team Chico.
There you go.
As a parody of Team Angle.
Okay.
Because if anybody knows lucha is, in lucha, the mask is the most important thing, on a wrestler, right?
Right.
So what do you do to a wrestler that doesn't wear a mask? What else does he have besides his career, his family, his taxes, his hair? So, in Guy's show, I, lost, went bald, did the entire, maybe 2016, I think it was 2016, 2017, just all Kurt Suave. And it was just a parody of Kurt Angle. It got over somehow, one way or another. It worked.
It's golly. You don't have to explain it.
You don't. It just works. But the original gimmick or the original idea when I was bald is because I like to impression a lot of wrestlers. So I was like, hey, why not just do all these bald wrestlers? First person was Bam Bam Bigelow because I had the flaming singlet for a bit.
Nice.
We were gonna paint my head and everything. We were gonna do it. We were gonna do the Big Show, and we were gonna call him the Big Suave. What else?
Good.
We had Swabberg. We have Swabberg.
Swabberg.
Yeah. But yeah, Pat's like, hey man, why not just come out with Team Chico? And I'm like, okay, cool. And the crowd from there on loved it. We were I could say we were hot at the time, Before Pat was my partner, I had another Chicago legend, Willie the Bomb Richardson.
Okay. I've heard of him.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and him, we were the original Team Chico.
Okay.
And, politics happened, stuff happened, and, Willie left. And so I was without a partner. So
yeah,
that's why Carlos said, hey, let's throw in Pat, let's throw in Chico, see what happens. And the crowd just basically made us work together and made it work well.
Putting together that hardcore match, what did you guys talk about you wanted to do? Because I know there was a vertical suplex table spot and some other stuff, right?
Yeah. We looked at each other. I'm like, let's go all out. He's like, sure. There was one thing we wanted to do that was taken out last minute and then re-implemented, but we decided not to do it. Was thumbtacks. Towards the end of the match, where you saw, I think it was either me or Pat throwing chairs into the ring, that was originally supposed to be thumbtacks and everything. But Carl was like, "No, we can't have that. We don't want no blood on the kids and this that." All right, cool. They hit my music. He comes up to me. He looks at me. He's like, "Thumbtacks are a go." I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, I can't right now. And, we did it. And I'll be honest with you, that was probably my first going through a table spot ever with Pat.
Okay.
So it was a good match. It was a fair match. I think we left the crowd very satisfied.
Yeah.
I could always say Pat is my favorite rival. He's my best partner, but my best rival. He takes out the best in me, and then I learn something from him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's awesome.
I try to keep in contact with him. We got each other's numbers. We talk here and there. He'll tag me on something on Instagram or on Twitter, and I'll just reply like, "Yeah, let's do it." Or, "Hey, when are we getting back together?" He's like, "Soon, my son, soon."
Yeah. And then he posts a photo of himself with no caption, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then his little teasing hooks that he throws out there. I see you, Pat.
I love him. Yeah, we all see you, Pat. We all see you.
In fact,
Honestly,
I respond with the eye emoji to most of them, and that's it.
And it's funny because, like, think about it. In that hardcore match, I beat Pat Monix. Okay, I beat him fair and square, 1, 2, 3. So then we had another match. It was for the Gotti Junior Championship, and he beat me for that one. So Pat Monix, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, if anybody here, just cut this little slice out. I'm calling you out, Papa. I'm calling you out because I won that last rubber match, Papa. I think it's time that Pat Monix kind of, I mean, not right now, the pandemic, but there's a time and a place for Pat Monix to come back. And when that time comes, I'll be right there. I promise you. I promise you.
Can't wait.
I'm ready. So out of all the matches that you had and how you were talking about this match, pretty hyped up, what is your personal favorite match that you've been a part of?
I think I'm gonna have to go with Gotti Goes Underground or Gotti versus Lucha Underground.
Oh, okay. I remember. I was there for that show.
Okay, I think it was a 6-man. It was myself, Mojo McQueen, and I forgot the third person versus Slayer, Golden Star, and Funebre, right?
Okay.
And that match, I recently got out of a relationship, a very, very toxic, very horrible relationship, and I was down in the gutter. The day of the show, seeing all those people out there, that really like pumped me up and made me like, yeah, let's go.
It was a packed house for sure.
Super packed. I was probably like second or third biggest crowd I've wrestled, in Gali.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be right there in front of that crowd, it's probably one of my favorites. It's because, you see in the background, we're like, okay, boom, 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 we're doing this. But then when you're out there, you see the guys popping for everything you're doing right, and the crowd is going with it. It's like the best feeling in the world. So I will have to say that show specifically, that match specifically, was by far my favorite match, show, whatever you want to label it. It's top for me.
Nice.
Yeah, the crowd usually, if the crowd's hot, usually I feel like that is part of the recipe to leading to a lot of people's best performances.
And to think about it, like lucha, when it comes to lucha and American, is a lucha crowd can be sometimes hard to catch their attention because they've seen it all. Let's be honest. Luchas, this guy did that. Shoot, one of our mask guys from Mexico did that, and so it's like, what can you do for them to react? And that's one thing I always, everybody always says is listen to your crowd and, pay attention to do simple things, but make it mean something.
Yeah.
And how do you, we've seen you ref, specifically at Cello, during this pandemic. How do you take that in now that there's that, 50 people? Like, one of the shows that Charlie and I attended, we were trying to make noise because it's like, we want to give the wrestler, we want to give the performer in the ring something to work out of. Because we're used to that. And when there's, 50 people or less than that, and there's masks around, there's not a lot of noise happening. So how difficult is that? Or have you seen the difference between obviously working regularly versus now under the pandemic rules?
Well,
would you be able to perform at your top performer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it could be 50 people, it could be 10 people, it could be 10,000 people. It don't matter. We could be streaming this live. For me, performance is key. You want to give everybody something, to remember you by and everything. And it's just something that we had to adapt. The wrestling business is always adapting. We're always changing. We're always learning something new. For example, like WWE is like before, with the whole pandemic happening, they were going off at the PC, and it was that moment for them to show you that they could grab a crowd grab the attention of the viewer without a crowd reaction. If the person in the ring, if I could connect or I could relate to the person that's speaking in the middle of the ring or having that match, then they're doing a good job. But if I'm not having that attention span, I'm more like, what can we do to make it different?
Yeah. Speaking of one of those refereeing, one of those matches you refereed at Zella, you did do something very different. It was Missa Kate and I can't think of her name now at the moment. I just had it.
She has a new name.
Apple Green? Julia? I don't remember. I know who you're talking about. Julia? Isn't it Julia?
Yeah, we sound... honestly, apologies. I just haven't seen her work that much, but... and it's been like 6 months since that show happened, maybe. I don't know. It's been like at least 4 months.
Yeah, it does.
But to get through the pandemic, you took a drug in the ring, right? And then you came out with it gave you the munchies.
I have no recollection of this. I remember eating something very, very tasty. Something
right. Before the Cheetos, before the Cheetos, it was tasty, and then the Cheetos were even tastier, right? That just seemed like a way to stick out, a way to kind of get through. Mm-hmm. Get through the pandemic, take some drugs.
Right. Yes. Hey guys, recreational all the way. I approve of it. What can I say? Missy, she's like, hey, this is something I want to try to get over. Like, would you be interested in doing this? And I looked at her and I'm like, I got you.
J Raves.
Yeah,
J Raves. Thank you.
J Raves. They're like, hey, we want to get this over. It's one way, they crowd into it, have them in a good mood and everything. All right, cool, let's have some fun, And I love comedy, so if you give me a comedy idea, I'm gonna try to make it the best that I can, you know. So obviously, you guys saw me went out, come back in with a bag of Cheetos and everything, and I was in a better place, what I mean?
Yeah.
But the crowd's reacting. I mean, you guys were there. People were laughing, and I don't know if you guys saw. I did not let go of those bags of chips at all. The whole time I'm doing
doing the count. You're still
So I do remember that
on the side. And also to hear commentary react like, hey, where's our ref going? And like, okay, he's reffing with chips. This is awesome.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
I was confused on what the drug was going to be because J Raves is very like electro techno party hype, and I thought you were going to come out like sweating, you just took like some Molly, and I was like, oh no.
Okay, here, see, this is what I would have done if it was Molly. I'll probably be shirtless, reffing with our shirt, just dancing in the way,
in between counts,
like
just dancing.
1, 2, 3, something as simple as this, and you guys are laughing. It's like, okay,
absolutely.
If it makes you guys laugh and it makes me laugh, it's gonna make everybody else laugh.
Right, exactly. We did so that was part of I want to bring that up because we had funniest moment in the ring as a question, and that was one of. I mean, it was a funny moment for all of us for sure. Do you have a biggest botch or mess up memory that you look back on? Maybe at the time you're like, oh shit, but you look back on it now and it is pretty funny.
Okay. This is probably in the earliest stages of like me starting to be a professional luchador. I was supposed to do jumping into the ring, and my foot got stuck on the top rope and I ended up falling. I ended up hitting the apron and I tripped and I go into the barricade. Now, these barricades are pretty old. I mean, I could blow on it and it'll just fall apart. So I ended up hitting that barricade, falling into the crowd, and I hit a family, right?
Geez.
And I didn't see them. The first person in the front row was a little boy. And I was like, oh, no. I just break character. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm so sorry. And I just go back in the ring and get my ass whipped for like 5 minutes. But, that's one of the few times.
Nice. Yeah, he's always going to be the little boy that got taken out by Chico in the barricade.
I'm sorry, brother. I mean, I bet you right now he's growing up to beat me up one day. He's like, I remember that kid. Yeah, the revenge story.
Nice. What are you looking forward to once we get wrestling back? What are you looking forward to the most? Is it just wrestling, or is it the camaraderie? Is anything specifically?
Okay. When things get back to normal, the first thing I want to do is just, besides get on a show, is hit the road. The reason I got into this business is to travel. For me, the best way. I mean, for me,
answer.
I always believe. Thank you. I believe that in order for someone to grow and in order for someone to learn in this business, they need to go on the road, meet different people, and then learn their style of wrestling, their style of living, and everything. So that way you have that history in your mind. So when you go back to wherever, or if you go somewhere else and you meet someone that has that exact same style, you're like, oh wait, okay, I know how to work this style, or I know how to work alongside with your partner. So that's for me is first thing is just trying to get booked out of state and just go and go as far as I can. You know, I had the blessed privilege of going from Chicago to Canada, Chicago to Indiana, Wisconsin, Ohio. You know, it's like more, it's things like that motivate me more each time in each show. It's just I want to go. And I have my two guys. I always go to them like, hey, you have anything? Or hey, where are you going? Like, what are you doing? Like, can I come with you? And try to bug as much people as I can.
Yeah. What does the comeback road look like for you to be able to do that? Is it just training right now, or are you working on any sort of like pitching or anything like that, or any sort of content?
Right now, I'm just strictly training.
Okay.
Right now, I'm at the Freelance Wrestling Academy. So anybody shout out to those guys, to all the students that are there. Like you guys keep pushing yourselves. You guys are basically the next generation, of wrestlers to come by. I just training right now. I am currently trying to save up for a 3-month trip down in Georgia.
Okay.
I'm saving up for that. I had an email. I received an email saying, "Hey, you were accepted." So now we have to go through the payment process and all that, and then hopefully, where I go from here is, helps me out in the near future.
Is that a wrestling school you're referring to?
It's a wrestling school. Okay. Yeah, Georgia. I don't want to say any details yet.
Sure,
so until I can for sure say, okay, I'm in. And here I am. I don't want to be like, here I want to do this, and then nothing happens.
Right.
So
cool. Congrats. Cool. I mean, at least so far. Yeah.
So far.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we, get to the end of the hot plate, I do want to go back and ask, because you said your mom is the one that was like, Chico, you have to, go to this school, train. How was that? I want to know, how was that process like? And were you resistant to it? And how big is your mom of a wrestling fan? I want to know about that.
Okay. Shoot, I was probably 8, 9 years old. Probably, I don't remember. I was going to the bathroom. It was Monday. It was a Monday. It was in October. It was a Monday. Probably had to be in 2003, 4. Okay. And I saw TV, and at that time it was this young dude beating up this old dude with a chair, and the guy was all bloody up, and he was just scorching blood. And at that moment, right there and then, I said to myself, I want to do that for a living. I want to beat up old people in front of millions of people. So the next day, I go to the garage. I take a steel chair. I go looking for my grandma. I'm like, Grandma, you're next. This is what I learned. Yeah. So that's how I got my exposure to professional wrestling. For my mom, I like I said, I was in military school for a year in Colombia. I came back. There was a store here from maybe 10 minutes from where I'm at right now. That had pictures of wrestlers and this and that. And my mom's like, hey, where can I find that? And the guy's like, what, mask? He's like, we sell them here. She's like, no. The wrestling. She's like, oh, well, we know this company. was in Addison or Bentonville at the time, and that's how I met Carlos. Beginning stages when the first person to take me to practice was my grandma, actually. My grandma after church, my grandma, we went down there. We were there for an hour or two. My grandma would be watching. She's like, "See, mijo, duro, harder, see." And at times, if she saw that I didn't get it right, like she'll tease it. She'll like, "Oh, here, I'll go in the ring and I'll show you how to do it." So it's like, okay. So, but my mom did not like it at first. My mom didn't like professional wrestling. My mom did not want me to watch WWE. My mom's a really religious woman, and she saw us half the stuff they were doing. The ministry and all that. And I was like, I don't think so. And then she found the school, and she's like, all right, if you're really serious about this, let's go.
I feel like that's usually the breaking point. Is like there's a lot of resistance at first, and then they're like, okay, put up or shut up. And then usually like the people we've talked to put up, and then the parent buys into it a little bit. So it kind of seems like the process that happens.
And seeing my mom like in the corner of my eye just go, oh, and and she has the Bible right there, or she has something for to distract herself, and she's just like, and she hears the saying, he hears, and she looked at you, good? Yeah. She's like, all right, good. Next page. And I'm like, all right, go on.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, that's a good follow-up question, Chris. Because usually people we talk to, it's not that easy for them to convince their parents. So it's cool to hear that whole thing.
My parents are, as long as they see me happy, they're willing to do whatever it takes, and that's why I support them, and I love them to death. I'm not gonna say that. There's moments that we had our, at the head, but at the end of the day, I love you. You do what you do. I'll do what I do, and at the end of the day, we're all together. We're all alive, and we're all happy.
Yep. And getting into the dessert now. That's right. Before we hit the dessert, once again, www.lucha-legends.com to purchase Volume 1, The Legend of Aguila Azul. All links you need will be in the description of this podcast episode and on twoheelsandaface.com. And head over to the website to purchase on Apple Books, Google Play, and Amazon Kindle. Now I'm hungry for some dessert, so let's get into it. What other things do you do? What are your other what do you like? What are your other types of hobbies? What do you like? What are your guilty pleasures?
Guilty pleasures. I like hiking. I like walking. I like going out to natures. I love farms. My grandpa, he had a farm before he passed. Sadly they had to, sell it and everything, but I was a huge, fan of animals and this and that. So if I'm in another state or if I'm right here in Chicago, I got nothing to do, go down by Lincoln Park Zoo or Brookfield Zoo or any zoo around, just see the animals and all that, or go for a hike. That's what I try to do mostly. Yeah,
no, for sure. I don't think the zoo gets talked about enough. Obviously, like, I think we're limited around here, but I feel like I've maybe been the one in Dallas, but I think the zoo is like a super underrated thing. As long as it's like a decent zoo and the animals are kept okay. But I feel like the zoo doesn't get enough love as like a hobby. But right. It's just me. Yeah. Kevin Owens loves
Kevin Owens would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think his favorite animal is a panda. For me, it's the red panda. I love the red panda. They're small, they're adorable.
I know. Those are almost like a mix between like a fox and a panda, right?
Yeah.
They're like really small.
Yeah. About the size of a raccoon.
Around a raccoon. That's more of an accurate. More like a raccoon and a panda. Yeah. Nice.
All right, Chico. So since we're in the dessert, are you ready for word association? For those who are not familiar, what word association means is this game we play where we have a list of 10 names or things that I'm going to throw at you. And the first thing that comes to mind, you just got to let me know one word answers.
Okay? All right, let's do this. It's this.
All right.
No pressure.
So we'll start easy because I gave you a inside scoop earlier onto one of the words that we had for word association. The first one is pro wrestling.
Challenges.
Cello Pro.
New home.
Pat Monix.
My brother.
Lucha Libre.
Mi vida. My life.
That's more than one word, but I'll allow
A couple of them have been, but I'm kind of cutting off the my at the front of the
Gotcha.
life.
Andy, 2 Jews long.
Funny.
Chicago White Sox.
Favorite.
Carlos Gali.
Family.
Bryce Benjamin.
Family.
Gali Lucha Libre.
Home. Main home.
Your first podcast interview.
Nervousing. I'm so.
All right, that's all 10. You did pretty well.
Yeah. There was a couple double word answers, but I think they all came from the heart.
Yes. Papa.
Yeah.
And I have to ask you, what is your favorite actual dessert?
Actual favorite dessert?
Yeah.
Banana split sundae.
What was that?
Ooh.
A banana split sundae.
Okay.
Nice. I haven't had one of those in a hot minute.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's one of those, hey, do we order it? Do we not order it? Can I finish it? It's right there. Just take it.
I feel like it's never featured on a menu, but places probably still have them. You just never think
it's
to
a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah.
It's a classic, but you're right. You hesitate to go for it because would I finish it really?
Are you saying it's too big of a commitment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, that's what you tell yourself. But you're gonna finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah. especially on a hot Sunday. Just eat it up. Enjoy it.
All right. I think that's if you're still listening to this podcast, which I assume you will be, you the listener. That's your homework. Go eat a banana split Sunday from somewhere and let us know how it was. And when you're tweeting about this episode, make sure you use the hashtag Viva La Chico. We're trying to get that hashtag over.
Viva La Chico.
Maybe we should do Team Chico too, but Viva La Chico for sure. And we'll definitely get that hashtag over. Chico, where can people find you? You got to clear up the Twitter fiasco that I just went through because I tried to tweet at you during the recording. I think I tagged the wrong one. Is there 2 of them?
Okay, so I believe it's Chico Suave is for my Twitter. That's mine. The one that says the real Chico Suave, that's D-Ray. I know it's D-Ray. D-Ray, I know it's you, buddy.
D-Ray sneaking up on cities.
I know it's you, but
he's such a sneaky trickster.
Yeah, he is.
That guy.
Yes, him and Pat Onyx had that Twitter account created, and they always got me hey, Chico Suave, I'm right. I'm like, that's not me. I'm like, that's someone else. So, but what I know of, they don't have the password to the account anymore. So that account is just there.
Okay, so that tweet is just gonna live in existence with no interaction forever. So I'll have to redo another tweet after we get off. Anywhere else you people can find you, Instagram or anything else?
If you guys head over to facebook.com/bookchicosuave, I'm very active right there. You can send me a message. If you have a photo with me, please feel free to post it right there. Obviously in times like this, I could always use a smile.
Yeah, I agree.
It's something to take my mind off things. But yeah, just right there. You guys can find me right there, and you can find all my links on my Facebook page.
Great.
Awesome.
I'm glad we were your first. Hopefully not your last. Hopefully you get to go many places when things get back to normal.
And eventually we have to come up with Viva La Chico t-shirts, right?
Oh yeah. We're actually
working
on merch. I'm trying to come out with the what is it called? I'm Your Chico, a parody of I'm Your Papi, a Guerrero classic.
Yeah.
We're working on that. They're both in English and in Spanish. We're coming up with another shirt that's called Chico Don't Tap, which was something that I caught on in the locker room where we were just setting up a match, and they're like, "Well, we'll put you in a submission. We'll tap you out." And I looked at him, and I'm like, "Chico Don't Tap." I promise you, if I will get that saying over. That's hashtag Chico Don't Tap. We'll get over. You'll see.
What about a play on the the Eddie Chavo shirt instead of it says Chico Suave is my favorite wrestler instead of Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler. You know that story, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
I believe, I think Chavo lost a bet or something, and then he had to wear that shirt on WCW.
Yeah, and he was the way he tells it, he was actually shoot pissed that he had to wear that shirt, but then it worked. And then, so I would wear that too. I would wear that. It says Chico Suave is my favorite wrestler, or the other one you said, the other Eddie play. So
yeah,
always looking down, looking for new merch, so I can clog up my drawers. Love me some wrestling merch. Chico, any last, final words for your first episode, for your first podcast? How was this experience? Do we bring in Chico a year from now, see what you're up to? Like, what are your parting words on this episode?
Well, I gotta say to you guys first, thank you very much for having me on your show. I am a virgin to this, and you guys popped my cherry. You guys took good care of me, so that's a good thing. I've never been in a situation where I'm in a threesome, but you guys took good care of me. You guys keep doing what you guys are doing. Honestly, I'm watching you guys. I'm listening. I'm always watching you guys. Anywhere I go, if I see you guys always get a hug, kiss me if I have to. To everybody watching, anybody listening, please subscribe to these guys. I highly suggest give these guys a couple minutes of your day, and I promise you, it's gonna be worth it. You guys, I love you guys very much. Charlie, Chris, you guys are like I said, you guys are family to me. Once we make that connection, you guys are with me forever to the end.
Well, we appreciate your time.
Nice.
Thank you for jumping on. Definitely you were on that 2021 list, and it happened sooner rather than later, and we appreciate you making that time. So we had lots of fun. Like I said, thank you, for, as I mentioned at the beginning, I've been having some long work days, and spending this time with you, hearing your story, talking about wrestling, definitely got my mind off of things, and I'm feeling good. I can go back to work after this.
But hey, you know what? For sure, if whenever you guys want to do a part two, look, let me tell you something. With me, you're gonna have a part 2, a part 3, a part 4, because I have so many stories. I've seen it, I've done it, I've lived it, and for me to be like, hey, this is what happened to me. You guys will be like, no way, and I'll be like, ask these guys. Yeah, ask anybody. They'll probably confirm it with you.
Yeah. No, we just did a watch along with D-Ray where we watched Freelance Underground's first show. I think they were still Underground Wrestling. And hearing, those are the stories that we really like to hear is from and this doesn't involve dirt for all the people who are just wrestlers carry dirt. We're not uncovering any of that. There's no drama or anything like that. But just he pointed out, he's all these tiles on the ceiling were knocked out because we were doing all this stuff. And just hearing his perspective, we're the fan, but hearing another person's perspective that saw something a different way and lived it is always great audio, I think. So
yes, always.
All right. Well, it's our time to wrap this up. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, 2 Heels and a Face. That's number 2 Heels and the Face. You can visit our website, 2heelsandaface.com. You can check out our Pro Wrestling Tee store, prowrestlingtees.com/2 Heels and a Face.
I have a question for you guys.
Chico. Yes,
Chico.
you.
Since we're in the topic of asking questions and all that, obviously we can't do it, but would you ever consider doing a live group podcast session, at least 3-4 people, you two?
So we every year we do an end of year kind of review on indie wrestling in Chicago with some of our buddies, Hank 312 and Nerd, who do the WTR, and they were Gali commentators for a while. We have Kike on, and Rashard,
and all these people that we kind of met, like, over the years and got, close with. This year, due to the pandemic, like we did a live through WTR's Twitch stream, end of year review. So we've definitely piloted that idea, and it worked out. So I think we're open to that.
Yeah, because like I said, the more voices I hear, the more attention you guys have from me, the more ears you're gonna get. I promise you that, guys. I promise you that.
I appreciate it. I think we're open to
innovating.
Yeah, in the future. So we'll cross that road when we get to it. Until then, you can find our stuff on Stitcher Radio, right? Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. We're back on Spotify, right? We were down for a second, but you fixed that, Chris?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And told me something went wrong, and I, clicked something 3 times, and it worked.
All right. And we just did a watch along on YouTube with D-Ray. We have 2 watch alongs on our YouTube channel with him. And otherwise, everything else at twoheelface.com. But other than that, I think hashtag Viva La Chico, and every day, if you can promote this episode and tweet that out, you'll make us 3 happy people.